Welcome back to yet another video on Kobe MC Photography's channel. That is me, Kobe Mercury Clark. If you're new to this channel, I am a photographer. I've been exclusively using the Pentax brand for quite a number of years. So that is generally what my channel focuses on, especially now with the Pentax K-3 Mark III. It's a completely different world for Pentax shooters. So I do a lot of deep diving in regards to all the ins and outs of the entirely new, revamped, and reworked from the ground up Pentax K-3 Mark III. So that is most of what you will find on my channel, at least most recently. I do have other Pentax stuff as well, which is in a Pentax Tips, Tricks, and Info playlist. You can go find it. Anyway, welcome if you're new, and if you're not new, thanks for tuning in once again. So the other day, I actually went out to do some more birding, high-speed shooting, things of that nature. I did have a plan, however, nature being nature, it really did not work in my favor. There was hardly anything to shoot. I was out for hours and there was really nothing. So I had to come up with a new formula, new plan. So that's what this video is going to be is what I did with this new plan. I was going to go through all the various autofocus settings step by step, and but I needed things that were consistent, and that's where I was struggling. One, there was hardly anything moving around in the air, and two, it was not something that was at least slightly repeatable. You've seen, hopefully, you've seen previously when I've done comparisons, it was always of gulls flying towards the camera and another line of gulls coming towards the camera, so it was easily repeatable over and over and over again to show differences of various settings. That totally did not happen this time. So what I decided to do was just throw the camera into, and I'm talking about firmware 2.0, so it has all the extra bells and whistles for autofocus fine-tuning when you're using AF.C. So I threw it into stability mode and then shot static subjects just to see if it actually, would be better to do that than constantly have to flip back and forth between AF.S, and then if you happen to see something that's moving, flip over to AF.C. Is it easier to just use AF.C with stability mode as the sub function within the autofocus? Does it do a good enough job with static subjects where you would normally use AF.S? Yeah, actually it came out very well. I'm just going to show the images, and yeah, I was very impressed. It actually does a very good job. Now, it does take longer for it to reacquire focus if something is moving faster, because it gives more time for a depth change, before it actually starts driving the lens. So that's where the stability element comes into play. Now, I wish they had changed the wording. I don't think stability really explains what it does. I don't know what other word they could have used. I can't think of that off the top of my head. But I think stability is not really the right word, because I think what's causing confusion is people think stability means it'll be more stable for tracking subjects, and that's actually the opposite. Trackability is where it becomes enhanced tracking capability. So for high-speed things, you would want to use maximum trackability. For stability would be slower moving subjects or subjects that are moving slow and then will come to a stop. So it's not hunting to try to acquire focus. Because when you're holding the camera, every time you move, in tracking mode, it will incrementally keep racking the focus back and forth, back and forth, back and forth every time. Like even subtle movements like this, if there's a millimeter of depth change, it'll reacquire focus, which on a static subject will cause you to have missed focus while the lens is racking in and out millimeter by millimeter, right? So stability is sort of a wider play area before it will try to drive the lens again when something is out of focus. It has to be fairly out of focus for it to drive the lens. So anyway, here's the images that I got, and again, these were all done in AF.C with stability mode. I did not change it at all for the duration of all these shots. They're all the same autofocus setting, and let me know what you think. Yeah, so those were the shots that I got in AF.C with stability mode only. It is something I regularly do use instead of going to AF.S. I will use AF.S, for example, if I'm trying to focus on, a bird that is static and it's in between some things, and I want to make sure that focus is right in there. I won't use the stability mode, or I won't use AF.C at all for that. I will only use AF.S. So again, going back to what I had said previously in a few videos, the K3 Mark III is a very specific camera. You really need to think about what it is that you're going to shoot so that you know what settings you actually need to set up in order to get the shot. So there is a bit of pre-planning involved in regards to utilizing the K3 Mark III. It can be a pseudo point-and-shoot camera to a certain extent, but when there are specifics in regards to movement, depth, things like that, you do want to actually change your autofocus parameters in regards to AF.C. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you like the video, leave a like. If you have not already, please do subscribe. Always helps out. If you have any questions or comments, leave that in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer as many as I can, as I always do. And don't forget, you can now become a member of my channel. Give me some extra direction of where you want the channel to go, what things you'd like me to do. Pentax related, because that is what I spend my money on. That is the gear that I actively use on a regular basis. I do not have access to Canon, Sony, Fuji, Nikon. Not gonna happen. So Pentax related things you'd like to see, or let me know. But join as a member. It's $2.99, I believe, Canadian. So in the US would be even cheaper. I believe that's what it is. I'm not sure how they go about switching back and forth between the two, but anyway, according to the information that I have, it's $2.99 a month. You can cancel anytime. It is a monthly subscription, and that will give you access to my Pentax K3 Mark III settings, which I just recently tweaked, and I am going to update that file. It also allows you access to my user forum that I created on my website. And I'm still thinking in here, trying to figure out some extra things to add, for the membership thing. I didn't do extra tiers or anything like that. It's just straight up $2.99 a month, plus taxes, obviously, unfortunately. And it just helps you support me, allows me to create more in-depth content for the membership side of things. It's not going to change the regular content that I do put out. I just want to make that clear. So if you don't want to do the membership thing, you're not going to really be missing out on anything. The membership thing is more an enhancement of all the stuff that I already do for the regular subscribership. So with that said, that's it, really. If you want to support the channel, I have that information in the bottom of the description. That's it. I'm going to go. You will see me on my next video. I'm out.